Hi guys, and welcome to China Perspective. My name is 𝗍𝗶𝗴𝗁, and you may know me as a German recruiter in Asia. Together with many of my Western clients in China, we have a few years ago started to expand into Asia, which of course includes Thailand. This has a lovely side effect that I'm spending several weeks per year in Thailand as I'm visiting my clients here. When I'm here, I cannot help but notice the ever-increasing amount of foreigners and foreign employers that I see here, ranging from the typical digital nomad to the kickboxing student, usually over on the islands, to the increasing number of family members of expats or senior managers, or people, you know, from countries who are right now in a sticky situation, who kind of ask their family members to go somewhere else where it's safe, while the main breadwinner is based in another country. And of course, also the large number of professionals who are helping international companies enter and grow in the Thai market. A fair share of the latter category are senior professionals who worked in China or other Asian countries before. So while some of them, mostly my clients actually, work in fully established companies, I also see a lot of remote workers. In fact, remote work in Thailand isn't just a lifestyle choice anymore. It's becoming a viable long-term option for freelancers, tech professionals, and even entire distributed teams. But before you book a flight and call it a strategy, let's take a closer look at the legal, tax, and practical realities of working remotely from Thailand in 2025. And let's start with the obvious. Why is Thailand on the global remote work map? By 2023, 76% of Thai professionals were working remotely, at least part-time, up 50% from 2020. I think that's something we've all seen in COVID. Cities like Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and Phuket now attract remote professionals with their combination of modern infrastructure, time zone advantages to Asian countries, and reasonable costs. As of 2025, precise data on the number of foreign workers working remotely is not publicly available. However, several indicators highlight Thailand's prominence as a hub for digital nomads and remote professionals. Such as the digital nomad population, estimates suggest there are between 40 and 80 million digital nomads worldwide in 2025, with approximately 44–45% originating from the US. While this is a pretty big range, you know, even the lower end of this range suggests a growing interest. Thailand's popularity in general remains high. Thailand consistently ranks amongst the top destinations for digital nomads. And we can see this in the expatriate community. The expat community in Thailand has grown to approximately 2 million foreigners as of 2025, encompassing retirees, digital nomads, and professionals. This is because Thailand checks a lot of boxes, actually. For many, it's not just a convenient base, it's a long-term choice. But one would not be well advised to just come here, as Thailand is a country with a very mature law. So here's a few things that you should know. For example, the legal status is very important. Remote work is now officially recognized. So this is new, and in 2023, Thailand amended its Labor Protection Act. Section 23(1) formally recognized remote work arrangements as long as both employer and employee agree in writing. This means working from home or work from anywhere really is legally valid. But the agreement must cover working hours, responsibilities, what tools are provided, and even workplace safety, even if your office is in a cafe in Phuket or Chiang Mai and not in wherever you're from. This, of course, has to be agreed upon by your employer, wherever your employer is. One important point to consider are visas and work permits. So here, clarity matters, and rules are getting trickier and stricter. Just because you're working online doesn't mean you're working legally in Thailand. Visa and permits still matter. So just in Q2 this year, 2025, Thailand actually started asking all visitors, all travelers, to fill out the so-called digital arrival card, which is an online application you need to put in your in and out flights, your address while you're here, and your contact information. So if you've been here on a hop in and hop out kind of visa situation, which was not uncommon back then, please note that this is not legal in many cases, and you would be well advised to be more diligent to not get into hot water or stopped at the airport. As an option, you have the Destination Thailand Visa, also DTV. Since 2024, last year, the Destination Thailand Visa offers 5 years of multiple entry with up to 180 days per stay, tailored for digital nomads and remote workers. However, if your activities involve income generation, even if your clients are overseas, Thai law may consider it work, potentially requiring a work permit. But what counts as work when you're sitting under a palm tree, right? Here are some examples. However, please note that those may change. So right now, freelancing for foreign clients, meaning outside of Thailand, is generally tolerated. Selling Thai goods abroad, no, you do need permit. Serving Thai clients in Thailand for sure requires a permit. And if you are an influencer or teaching any of this, then it's a case-by-case basis. So there's a large gray area. Many remote workers operate without issues, but that doesn't make it legal. And it's important to understand where the boundaries lie and when you're crossing them, especially if you want this to be a long-term engagement for you. So one way to make sure you're crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's for a long-term stay is to set up a Thai company. This is for you if you do want to stay longer and have actual business in Thailand, or if you want or need to hire Thai employees. If you're invoicing clients, hiring support staff, or building a local presence, you may eventually consider setting up a Thai company. It's possible, but it comes with stricter requirements than in many Western countries. Key points and challenges are, for example, so a local Thai shareholder is often required. You also need to meet a minimum capital threshold that applies. There's monthly tax filing and accounting that's mandatory. So this setup can make sense if you plan to scale, but do it with proper tax and legal advice. It's not something to improvise. So let's say if you're just planning to be here 3 months in a year and sit at the beach, tippity-tappity on your laptop, this is not for you. What is another attractive factor about Thailand is the excellent medical system. Health insurance and healthcare access are really great. So if you want to stay here longer, you're also obligated to be able to prove that you have insurance. Most long-stay visas like the DTV or the LTR require proof of health insurance, often with minimum coverage for inpatient and outpatient care. Thailand's private healthcare system is among the best in the region and still significantly more affordable than in most Western countries. Many people I know, in fact, come to Thailand also for elective treatments, ranging from, making yourself look really beautiful to dental treatments to giving birth and others. Thailand is definitely a very attractive medical location. However, if you're a non-Thai national working here, then having a valid health insurance isn't just a formality, it's your entry ticket to the Thai system. And it's one less thing to worry about when living abroad. Please also keep in mind that car or road accidents are actually quite common here, as people not only drive on the left, which many foreigners are not used to, a lot of them also rent motorbikes and they drive like they are on vacation, which probably because they are on vacation. And actually Thailand and many of the islands in particular have a very vibrant nightlife, which means that unfortunately accidents can happen. I strongly recommend you have insurance to protect yourself at the very minimum against, and accidents and unexpected events like that. While you're at it, please don't drink and drive, as many foreigners do. I personally always take a car, to be honest, and not on the back of a moped, as at least that offers a minimum protection, but I've seen some very sticky situations, so please be careful. But Thailand continues to be very attractive to many remote workers, and its remote work ecosystem is expanding. For example, Thailand's digital economy is growing at a 14% per year rate, driven by demand for tech professionals, especially in cybersecurity, software development, and AI. In fact, I would say that most of the freelancers I meet here are kind of in the software development field. Global firms like Microsoft, Agoda, and Google are actively hiring remote workers, often offering flexibility and competitive compensation. So it's not longer just freelancers passing through. Thailand is attracting serious talent, building networks and formalizing support systems for remote professionals. So for example, Bangkok ranked as the #1 global city for remote work in 2025. Now let's get to the important part where we need to speak about tax considerations and you need to know your status. While not the most exciting part of remote work, it is crucial if you plan to stay compliant. And if you're not, this can really come and bite you in the lower back end of your body. For example, if you stay over 180 days to become a Thai tax resident, you are liable for your birthright income. And this is important to remember because in most countries, in this world, tax obligations kicks in 3 days later at 183 days, which is half a year. In Thailand, it's 180 days and therefore 3 days earlier, which is very unfortunate if you mix this up. If you're under 180 days, no problem, you're taxed only on Thai-sourced income. So if you do not make income here, you are not taxable on it, but of course still in your country of tax residence, wherever that is. Thailand's system is territorial, meaning offshore income is taxable only if remitted the same year. Tax rates range from 0 to 35% depending on the income. I have actually a separate video about taxes and how to calculate gross net and employer cost in Thailand, which I will link for you in the video description below. Annual tax filing is due every March for the previous year. It's very, important for those individuals who spend a year in 2 or more countries that Thailand has a double taxation treaty. But fortunately, Thailand has one with more than 60 or so countries, including most of Europe, the US, and Australia. And why is this important? You can avoid being taxed twice on the same income. So it may even allow tax credits or exemptions, but it still requires you to do proper filing in both countries. It's important to work with somebody who understands both systems. A tax advisor familiar with international treaties is really worth their fee, and they shouldn't be so expensive. So if you generate income in Thailand, you need to file an income statement. Then it will depend if you're treated as a tax resident or non-tax resident and the source of the income. So please make sure to get a good tax lawyer if you stay significant time here and to know what's going on. The system gets better and better. And if you have been able to fly under the radar in the past several years, this wiggle room is getting less and less. Next, we have Thailand's digital payment system, including PhonePe and their mandatory e-tax invoices. They're making tax filing more efficient and also more transparent. So it's important to know that the Thai Revenue Department is heavily modernizing. If you earn well, expect that eventually somebody knocks on your door and has noticed. It's worth staying one step ahead. So what does it mean overall? Remote workers are no longer seen as backpackers with laptops. They are entrepreneurs, consultants, and full-time, highly qualified professionals, and Thailand is adjusting accordingly. Work permit processes have been simplified in 2025, now allowing third-party collection, postal delivery, and online submissions. Visa pathways like the DTV and LTR are expanding with clearer definition of what's allowed. But I really recommend that you're aware that we're all becoming more and more transparent and that countries and offices are connecting better. Please make sure to stay compliant, especially if you want to stay long-term. Guys, I hope you liked this video. I personally think Thailand is not only an attractive country with its rich history, kind people, delicious food, and amazing nature, but it's also becoming more and more interesting from an economic point of view. If your company wants to expand into Thailand, reach out to me, ideally via email, which I'm noting for you below. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you found this interesting, please like and subscribe for me. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.